Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I'm getting ready to start my dinner and I wanted to share it with you. Yeah, our days have gotten a little bit cooler. Yesterday, this is Friday, yesterday our temperature didn't hardly get over 70 degrees, but it was raining and we were getting some of the bands, the outer bands off of Hurricane Francine. So we've been thinking about everybody that's been in the path of the hurricane, and we hope everybody is safe and dry. So, but today, with it turning off a little cool, and y'all, fall is in 9 days, and I'm so excited for it. I love fall. And I wanted to make a soup. And I'm kind of tossed between calling it a soup and a stew, so I think I'm going to call it a stoop. And it's white bean, chicken, green chili stoop is what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to start out in my pan here. We're going to cook it in this skillet, electric skillet I have here. And I am going to put, about a tablespoon of butter. Everything starts with butter. It's got to be good, right? But we also want a little bit of oil. So I'm going to put maybe a tablespoon of oil. All right. And we're going to let that start getting hot. Now, I have 2 carrots that I cut up. I'd say use 2 to 3. Mine were on the larger size, kind of between medium and large. So I only wanted to use 2 of them. So this is probably, I would say, a cup, close to a cup of carrots. But I want to put some onion in this as well. And my onion was large, so I'm going to use half of it. And I'm going to dice it up and put it in there with that carrot. Can you hear it already starting to sizzle? Oh, that's a good thing when it sizzles, y'all. You've heard me say that before. It's got to be sizzling to be really doing its job. So let's get this diced up. This I have not made in quite a while. And looking back and thinking back on stuff and something new that I could bring to you, I came across this and I thought, oh, why haven't I made this for them? And so today was the perfect day to do it. We're supposed to have the rain over the next several days, actually. And our temperatures have cooled off quite a bit. And I think the highest temperature that I've seen so far in the next few days is going to be like 80, 82. So, I mean, that's not cold, but it's a lot better than 100 degrees that we were having. So, okay, so let's get this stirred around. Oh, hear that sound. Y'all, this sound smells so good. Okay, so we're going to get this sauteed, and I want to let these carrots soften up a little bit. They won't take long. I cut them up really small, and I should have showed them to you before. I cut them up real small, if you can see that. So, because I want them to cook kind of quick. This is not a soup or stew that you want to just stand over all day and let cook. Once you get everything in it pulled together, it's going to be done. So we want our carrots done. Now, if you want, you could buy the cut up carrots. I had carrots. I cut them up myself. It didn't take me a minute. If you can find them already cooked and in the frozen section or even in a can, that'll work also. So don't be ashamed to use something from your freezer or the canned goods. It's all going to be good. All right, so let me get these softened up tender, and I'll be back with you in just a minute, okay? Okay, our carrots are starting to get a little tender, and our onions are getting translucent. We don't want them browned. Remember, this is a white bean. So we're going to add some flour. Now, I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of flour. I got 3 here, but I'm going to start with 2 and just see if I might want a little bit more. Now, y'all, I cooked my chicken. I put it in my boiler, and very simple, covered it with water, salt, and I turned it on and let it boil. I let it boil for about 30 minutes. Now, I used boneless, skinless chicken breast. That's what I had. And if I had had bone in, skin on, that's what I would have preferred. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit more flour. I want a little bit more because we're going to make our sauce. This is our base for our stoop. Yeah, that's more like I'm looking for. And that was about 2.5 tablespoons, but you look at yours and you might want to go the full 3, or you might want to stop at 2. It depends on how many carrots and onions you decide to put in. Okay, so now, having told you how I cooked the chicken, this is the beautiful broth we had left. It's 4 cups, and that's exactly what I need for this recipe. Let your flour cook for a minute or so. You want that raw flour taste out of it. But now I'm going to start whisking in my broth and see if I need all 4 cups. It's going to get thick on you, but just keep whisking and adding your broth till it gets your consistency. I don't want it real thick, but I don't want it loose and runny either. I'm not after a soupy soup, if that makes sense. We're going to stop right there. That's 3 cups. Now, I'm going to set this aside just in case I need it and I lose my whisk in the liquid, but that's okay. I'm cooking, right? Things happen when we cook. So let's stir this around, and this is going to get a little bit thicker. I don't want it to get too thick, again, as I said. So let me stir this till I see if I need some more liquid, and I'll be back with you, okay? So I have got this simmering, and I sure hope you can see down in this pan. And if y'all could smell it, this is smelling divine. Okay, so next I'm going to start adding other stuff. I'm going to put some soup first. I've got a can of cream of chicken soup. If you have homemade, by all means use homemade. I don't have any. I need to make up some, at least the base. You know, the cream of something mix. I know a lot of people use that, and it is really, really good. All right, so let's get that whisked in. Now this is going to thicken this up a little bit too. That's why we're reserving that last cup of broth, but I do have some stock in a box if I need it. But I wanted to use that first. And you know, I am going to need that last cup of broth, I think. Now it's getting thick. I want it thickened, but not this thick. So let's add some more. Let's just go ahead and add it all. I think it'll be fine. because it's gonna sit here and simmer, and as it simmers, it's gonna thicken up some more too. If you wanted to add some turmeric to it right here, you could. It would just deepen that color. Okay, so I have a can of Great Northern beans. Make sure, yeah, I've got another can if I decide I want them. Great Northern beans, you can use navy beans, whatever you decide. I drained them and I rinsed them. And I'm putting that in there. I'm not going to put the other can in just yet. Let's see first if we need it. I want to finish putting other ingredients. Okay. Ooh, that's looking good. I'm going to put if you have a 4-ounce can of diced green chilies, you can use them. I have some that I canned from my peppers from my little garden, and they're mild. So I'm going to use this. Now, I'm going to drain them. I don't want that extra liquid. So let's drain that. Ooh. Oh, and they smell so good, y'all. The more homemade stuff you can use, the better. That's giving it some beautiful, beautiful color in here. You've got the orange from the carrots, the green from those chilies. Oh my goodness. And we're going to put a 1/4 cup of rice, which is about all I have left in my jar here. I keep my rice and stuff sealed up in jars after I open them, and that was right about a 1/4 cup. We're not going to worry about measuring it. We're just going to go with it. And it's going to plump up, and it's going to be just enough. I don't want so much rice that it's going to soak up all my liquid. And you know, I'm almost thinking, what do you say we put that second can of beans in here? Let me go over to the sink and rinse these off, okay? Give me just a minute. Yeah, I had some beans that I put up, that I canned, and I just did them a couple of weeks ago. And I could have used those, but I decided to use these. They were sitting in my pantry, and I wanted to get them used up, and then I'll dig into those home canned beans later on when I'm wanting some fresh homemade stuff. Y'all, this is looking and smelling so good. Now that's what I want right there. That needed that second can of beans. Okay, so we're going to slip. I did the 2 chicken breasts, and I've got right about 2 cups here or so of chicken, and I just shredded it and cut it up into big chunks. And I am just going to put it right over in here, and we're going to let this simmer. Now, I might see that I need a little bit more broth. And if I do, I've got the canned, you know, the broth in the box, stock in a box. And we'll open it up. This is going to simmer 10, 15 minutes or so, 20, to make sure everything, the chicken is cooked. The chilies were done. All I had to do is open those up. The beans, you know, they're cooked in the can. They just need warming through, and that's it. But I just want everything to simmer together and just become one unit. Now, all I'm using is salt and pepper for seasonings. If you want to use something else, you could. Like I said, you could put some turmeric in it if you want to deepen that flavor. A little bit of thyme. In fact, you know what? Let's put a little bit of thyme in it. I think it'd be good, don't you? We won't use much. Let's measure a little bit out in our hand. Let's see, what have we got there? 1/4 teaspoon. Let's go with that. Yeah, it smells so good. I love thyme. I love the smell of thyme. Basil, parsley, all of it. Oh, and they just gave it a little more beauty. Okay, I'm not going to add any more liquid at this time. As I told you, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let it simmer, and if I need to, I'll add some more. I'm going to turn my temperature down. I'm going to cover it up, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes, okay? I think our soup is ready. Stoop. Let's give it a stir. If it's been simmering for just a few minutes, it's probably been 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You know, it looks so good. It's thickened up just a little bit. But this is what you want. Let me move this out of my way. I don't know. I hope you can see down in there really good. I can't hold it up. It's full and it's hot. But I'm going to dip up a bowl and let you see it. And I'll get some good pictures for you. So let's get a little bite and try this. I just want a little bite of everything. I want to see the beans. I want to see the chilies. I want to see the carrots. Oh, can y'all see that? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? But the most beautiful part is going to be when we taste it. Oh. And I know it's hot, but I know it's going to be good, y'all. I think I'll make a pan of cornbread to go with this. Y'all, I've done a video showing you how I make my cornbread. And I think it's in, let me look. I think it's in our first volume of our cookbook. If it's not, maybe I've got it in the second volume, which is at the printer as we speak. Yes, it's in volume 1. It's on page 103. So I thought I had put it in there. So, and if y'all don't have this book, go out and look for it. Open the description box, hit more right beside the description of the video. It'll open up the description box, and the link to my website is there, KarenJonesFoodandFamily.com. There's a link to take you to the printer, and you can order my book. And we'll have book number 2 soon. But anyway, there's the video out, and if I don't forget, I'll link it in the description box under this video. So I think I might make a pan of cornbread to go with this. So I think it's going to be good. Anyway, let's give it a try. Maybe it has cooled off enough. Yeah. I can taste the chilies. They're not overpowering. It's just that note in the background that I wanted. The beans, the chicken, and using that homemade chicken broth, y'all, that makes such a big difference. Do not throw your liquid away when you cook chicken like that. Boil it. And oftentimes I'll boil my chicken breast. Like I said, if I had boneless, bone-on, skin-on chicken, that's what I would have used. Throw you in a carrot, onion, celery if you have it, some salt, let it, peppercorns if you have them, and just let it simmer, let it simmer, let it simmer. And you can use the chicken for whatever, pot pies, this, put it in your freezer. You've got it for future meals. If you want chicken tacos or just what have you, save that broth. And you can put it in a mason jar, put it in your refrigerator. It'll form a fat cap on the top, and they'll seal it in, and it'll stay good in your refrigerator probably 2 or 3 weeks. I would can it, and because y'all know I've been into canning lately, and I have actually made some chicken broth. And It's delicious. So don't throw it away. You can consider it free food. So I hope you'll make this. And if you do, please let me know. And tell me what you would do differently if you would add something else to it, a different spice. There's so many things you can do. You know, I've told you guys before, a recipe is just an open canvas, unless you're baking. And so you can put in something different, take something out, change it up, make it yours. And that's what I do. Thanks, everybody. I'm so glad you joined me today. I so love having you in my kitchen with me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget, hit that notification bell so you'll know when we post another video. And I hope you'll try this because it's going to be so warm and comforting on these cold days that are coming up in this winter. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon.